Yo, what's going on, kings and queens? It's your boy Chaz Jackson coming back to you once again, representing GNG Gift and a Gift. Hey, I just want to personally take the time to tell you thank you for giving me your eyes and your ears once again as we get ready to dive deep into some inspiration that I pray will plant like a seed in your mind and assist you in becoming a greater version of yourself. And if you've been watching GNG live stream podcasts, you know that our motto is we're all gifted differently to make a difference. And like I always say, I know there's tons of difference makers is watching this right now. We have an amazing show in store for you. Go ahead and get your pen, your paper. I ask you to go ahead and comment. Let us know that you're there. Share this out to any young adult, pastor, teacher, coach, parent that you feel like is going to be able to resonate with this talk today as we continue to dive deep into our Summer Soldiers series, where our theme is equipping young black males on their journey through the battlefield of injustice. And before I read off this short bio of my man Jesse Cruz, I want to go over the mission of this platform, and it's to provide tips and techniques for young men as they strive to grow in personal development. And I challenge them as well as myself to become passionate visionaries who are determined to leave a legacy for themselves by adopting unwavering life values and serving others, hear me, in an area of gifting led by God. So that's what mission we're on. And again, I have a powerful speaker. I love connecting with this man, and I know that you guys are going to get tons of value, golden nuggets from him. I'm going to read off this short bio on this giant here, and we'll get jumping. So Jesse A. Cruz lives in upstate New York with his wife and children. The Cruz family currently serves at Cross Creek Church. He has proudly served our country as an Iraq war veteran of the U.S. Army. Thank you for that, Jesse. Jesse is the program coordinator for Wayne County Youth Advocate Programs, INC. In addition to his career, he has been engaged in speaking at correctional facilities and coaching sports. My main man, Jesse A. Cruz, you are live on GNG Podcast live stream. Are you ready to get it, King?
I am. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
I love it. And I know I just read something short and brief about you. Is there anything else you want to add to what I just shared?
I think you did a great presentation on the bio. I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
I love it. Now, obviously, you kind of know the thing. We kind of talked before we even got on this live stream, and I know you have a phenomenal story yourself about what you're doing and how you're giving value to people in your environment and to this country. And again, I appreciate your service in the military as well. But as far as what's going on in our country right now, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, when I think about what's going on, it no longer feels like the United States of America. It feels like the divided states of America. And everybody has their own beliefs, whether that's political, whether that's spiritual, personal ideas of what's going on. And people are kind of looking for hope, and they're looking for answers, and they're looking for guidance and support, And so my mission through all this is to use the gift that I've been given to make a difference. And I think that if everyone on this earth was pursuing their gift, especially at a time during like this country would be united again.
That's key what you said, kind of conquering and going after their gifts, because what we focus on grows, and that makes a lot of sense when we continue to focus on how we can impact and give value to our environments, to our country, that will make us more intentional and allow us to bring more fruit to this planet. But I love your book title, Live Your Dash. Can you share a little bit with the audience about what's the mindset behind that?
So the dash is, if anyone's ever been to a graveyard or a cemetery, you will see on a tombstone a couple dates, the date that person was born, and the date on the other side is the date they pass away. That dash in the middle is representing what you've done with the time you've been given. That is the quality of your life. So that dash, although it's a small part of a tombstone, it's a huge part of our lifespan because it represents what and who we've become. It is God's creation coming through and saying, this is who I've become. This is what I've done with what you've been given. So the dash is very important because that's what we have. That is the span of our life. Those are the moments and the breaths that we have while we're here, and we need to take that very seriously and to pursue it with passion and to make a difference.
That's gold right there, really conquering our dash. And I really begin to really dwell and think about it even more deeper whenever you kind of put it in that context of how important that dash is, because a lot of times, or all the time, you're not really in control of when you were born and when your last day on this planet to take your breath. So really being intentional and taking control of your dash, that's essential. And for the audience, they just getting to know you. I know there's a lot that's tuned in that already know you, but can you just share a little bit of your background of how you personally are conquering your dash and kind of what made you get on the path to help young people and do what you love doing best right now?
So, I mean, I'm going to go through a couple of things here. With writing the book, that was something that was called to do. That was never my life plan. That was something that was a seed was born within me, and I was called to do it. So I'm just following the path that was laid out in front of me. You know what I mean? My plan was to never become an author. I just discovered that was a talent and a gifting that I had within me. And so I've been doing it ever since. And it's been a blessing. And I'm so thankful that I've had the opportunity to talk with people like you and others all over this country and other countries, and it's been great. And as far as working with the youth, I've been doing this for about 9 years now, and it's one of the most rewarding things ever to give back to someone, to mentor them, to be someone that they can turn to in times of trouble, and someone to share a laugh with, and to someone to build a relationship with. And that's something I needed when I was a kid. And you know what? I know how important it is. So every day I get to wake up and I get to help people. And I'm so blessed and thankful for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And it's amazing what you're doing. I know I definitely want to leave your dash. I definitely got that on order to kind of check that out. I know you really poured some golden nuggets into that book. And I know you're writing another book, right? You got another book on the way?
Yeah. I'm autobiography. It's a story I share about what my family went through. My daughter was born prematurely, and I watched her fight for her life every single day. I watched her flatline multiple times, come back to life, and then after 42 days of fighting, she passed away and flatlined for the final time. And because of her life, I use it as inspiration to help other people heal, to let them know that even on the worst day of your life, there is hope, there is healing, and that you can overcome if you decide that you want to continue to strive for your purpose. And once you begin to use those gifts give you the confidence and the courage to be the best version of yourself and to overcome the pain and trauma you may have gone through.
Exactly. And man, that's a tough one to chew. And I know there's a lot of anxiety and frustration sadness can come away with kind of losing a child. Obviously I have my two daughters and I'm so blessed to have them in my presence. I couldn't imagine how you feel, man. I know, but what you said was powerful, is using that experience to help others, if that makes sense. And another thing, and I'm paraphrasing what you had said, but you said where there is life, there is hope. So having hope based on some of your experiences, in this case with your daughter, to kind of help push through and create more content to let people know that, hey, I've been through this and I'm here to help you get through it. So, and that kind of brings me to your why. Your why is so powerful, right? So to me, your why is the foundation to keep throwing logs on your fire, right? Because it's so easy for Chaz Jackson to give up on things when I'm constantly just thinking about myself. But when I latch it on to my wife, for my kids, on my family, the kids that God's placed in my path to be able to mentor and coach, that keeps me pushing forward. So obviously our theme again is equip the young black males on their journey through the battlefield of injustice. So is there any tips and techniques that you can give that young black male is looking at you right now on how you can keep readjusting your why to keep pushing forward through the police brutalities, the imaging as far as being stereotyped, if that makes sense, kind of outlooking a lot of that stuff and creating solutions to kind of keep pressing forward and going after the dreams and goals that, God's placing on their heart to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that, everyone and, certain populations have it more than others where there's a negative label placed on them based on the color of their skin. And people have no control over the color of their skin, but they're being judged by it harshly. And I would say that for the people who are being, targeted, or there's prejudice and racism that are directed at them, is that you do not let hate win. You know what I mean? Because no matter what, people, you could be living the most ideal life. You could have the dream house with the dream family and the car and the money and the great business and all the success in the world. But if you have a certain color of your skin that doesn't look right to somebody else, they're still not going to like you. You still ain't going to be nothing to them. You're still not going to matter. They're going to think that you're still below them. So no matter what you do in certain situations, based on how you look, people are not going to like you. So you might as well do what you were called to do. You know what I mean? And be hated for being great. Be hated for being amazing. Be hated for using your gifts. People are going to hate you either way, but let them hate for a reason of just being great and overcoming that adversity.
Do you hit that on the money? Keep striving even during the hate. And I know for me early in my career, I really expected validation for what was going on in Chaz Jackson's head. If I would share a dream with someone and if they turned it down, then for me it was like, man, that wasn't the case. Maybe I shouldn't do that because they didn't like that. But at times, yeah, you're going to have haters. You're going to have people that not really understand your dreams, your goals, your ambitions of what God has placed on your heart. Again, earlier, the motto is we're all gifted differently to make a difference. So you can't expect someone to comprehend or understand a dream that's meant for you, right? So, yeah, continuing to press forward and keeping your foot on the gas and not necessarily expecting validation, even though validation is good when it does come. Those affirmations, accept them and embrace them. But at times when you're going in charted waters where a lot of people in your environment is not necessarily doing what you want to do, or they're not really, familiar with someone of your skin color doing those things, there could be some turmoil. But I love what you just said. You got to keep pressing forward and keep trying to strive for your greatest version. So that's good. I love that. And as far as your program with Wayne County, can you explain a little bit more about what you do with the young men there?
And so what I'm doing on a regular basis is that, we contract out with a school in our community. So I go right into the school building with them. So I'm working with young males of color, transition ages, which is 3rd grade, 6th grade, and 9th grade, because they're going into new buildings, entering intermediate school, entering middle school, entering high school. So while they're transitioning to these new buildings, they have a familiar face with me that they meet with, right in the morning when they get there. And so that I'm the one that they spend their time with to start off their day. So to me, it's important to start off your day the right way, so you can keep that momentum going. So I build this trusting relationship, not only with them in school, I interact with them outside of school. So I do activities with them outside of school. I build a relationship with their parents, their teachers, their coaches, their counselors, grandmas, aunts, uncles, whoever's involved in their life, I build a relationship with, because it's going to take all of us working together. And so I meet with them on a regular basis. We run groups together. I meet with them individually. We do community outings, and doing all these things, I'm building their trust. I'm building their respect. And that's what it's about. Once you have the respect and you have the trust, you can speak into them. You can hear their story. They'll be open to share it. I can share part of my story, and we can all just learn and grow from one another. So it's all about getting better, understanding their culture, understanding their maybe their insecurities or their anxieties or their fears about what's going on in the world, things they may have to deal with because of their culture, their race and ethnicity. So we talk about those things openly. And so I just want to create an environment of where no matter what's going on, that we have this place where we can share safely with whatever's in our heart.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really important, really fellowshipping and allowing our young people to know that, hey, I've been through some of the things that you've been through. I can relate to some of your experiences, and this is what helped me get to where I am right now. In my book, Live, Learn, Lead Powerfully, I have a chapter called The 12 Roles, and it's kind of tackling specific roles that 100% of everyone that's on this planet has dealt with once in their life. And one of those roles is the unique role, meaning, at times we can go through life thinking that we're the only individual that's going through that trouble, that trial, that tribulation. And we can kind of hone on to that, and we can carry that emotional baggage, right? And we can, Chaz can feel like, hey, no one's really can understand my feelings, my beliefs, my opinions. And that can gravitate us and put us in a low energy, right? It can put us in a lackadaisical mindset and kind of keep us from being intentional about going after what God's put on our heart to do. So communicating, understanding, hey, Chad's been through this. Chad's been through, drinking and overcoming that, or depression or sadness or frustration. And this is what he used by me communicating with that young individual. This is what I used to kind of overcome that. And it can kind of plant a seed to say, hey, if Chaz overcame that, I can do it. Again, I always say if Chaz can do it, you can do it. So those relationships and how you kind of build on that's really key. So kudos to that, man. That's good stuff. And with thinking about that, so you're having these conversations with these young men. What if you got one that comes to you right now and be like, look, Jesse, why should I keep pushing forward, when it seems like everything's against me right now? What is the reason why I should keep pushing forward? Why should I keep, waking up in the morning trying to better myself? What's the first thing that comes to mind that you would share with that young man?
I believe that every single person has some unique gift within them. And in that unique gift, there's somebody in this world depending on you to follow your gifting and your calling. It may be a life or death situation. That's how important our gifts are. People don't realize that. When you use your gifts, you could literally be saving someone's life. Mm-hmm. And so I would encourage this young man that he has something great within him, and to pursue that thing that he's excelling at, the thing that he's interested in. And, there may be the excuse of, well, I don't know what I'm good at, or I don't like anything. The bottom line is that there's something there. There's always something. There's always a gift. There's always a talent buried within. And, through that conversation, I would like to bring that out of him and let him know that, life is like a puzzle. And we don't sometimes get to see the end product. We get a piece here and there. And, so we're kind of confused in where we are because we can't see the full picture while we're building the puzzle. If we don't got the master key of the puzzle box to know what we're building and creating in life, it's all just looks like chaos. And up close, it does look like that. But from a different perspective, you can see that the troubles, the challenges, and the setbacks are what's building the masterpiece of your life. They're not meant to be stumbling blocks. They're designed to be building blocks for a future.
Mm. You looking at this right now, I hope you took my advice earlier and got your pen, got your paper. This man is bringing value right now. That's gold. That's good stuff. And a lot of young people that I've worked with, a lot of times when they do step out, John Maxwell, I love his work. He said this once. He said, sometimes you have to jump and build your wings on the way down. I thought that was really powerful. Sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith. So when taking that leap of faith, obviously failure comes, right? Sometimes things don't work out the way that you plan it to work out. You can put yourself out there and there could be a door shut in your face. There could be emotion that arise that you wasn't necessarily looking to pursue or to kind of embrace. Can you share with the audience of how has failure helped you get to this point where you're at right now, and how do you consistently keep coming back and striving to be your greatest version of yourself?
I think that failure is absolutely necessary for success. And I was a person, I used to beat myself up about my mistakes. I always want to be right. That's huge to me. But what I've learned over the years is that when you're wrong about something, the best thing about being wrong is you get to learn something new. See, the person who's always right never learns anything because they already knew that ahead of time. That's why it was done right, because they already knew something. But someone who's done something wrong, they get an opportunity, if they choose to accept it, to learn from that wrong. So I think that when a person is doing things that are wrong or incorrect, it is an absolute great opportunity. It's the best opportunity for that person to learn, because now they're seeing, man, I made these mistakes. Now I can grow from it. And with me, I've had plenty of setbacks in life, and at the time, it seems like I cannot believe I'm going through this. Now, when you look back at it, it's like, wow, that was one of the best learning experiences of my life. So when we're trapped in our pain in the moment, it seems unbearable. When we look back on that pain, we're like, wow, although it was terrible at the time, it's helped me to become this person that I was always meant to be. And without the pain and not the suffering and without the setbacks, we would never become great.
Boom. That's good stuff right there. And like you said, you have to keep failing forward, right? You have to keep failing forward and really looking at those things as that experience has helped equipping you to be the person that you're called to be, that you're called to manifest and be able to build those deep roots. There's a proverb that says, if you have deep roots, there's no need to fear the wind. So talking to that young black man right now, or male in general, as you continue to build those roots and continue to use those obstacles as opportunities and build those roots, whenever that wind hits you, when those stereotypes, when those altercations kind of come into place, you will have the necessary values and principles in place to be able to, overcome that and be able to help someone else overcome that. So I really enjoy what you just shared there. And I'm always talking to my kids about mentors. How important is mentors? And is there one that kind of comes to mind that really played a key place in your life story at this point?
I think that, and I talk about this in my book, that mentors are absolutely necessary. I think if you talk to any person who's achieved great success in any profession and endeavor, they won't ever say because they did it by themselves or they did it all alone. No one says that, because it's not true. We're all a team, and we all need to rely on each other, and we can all learn from all people, whether those people look like us or not. We can learn from others, and for mentoring, like, changed my entire life. And my goal with that is that I want to help change the lives of others. And these young males that I'm working with, I might be the only mentor they ever get that's a man. I'm aware of that. I might be the only man that ever tells them, I love you. I care about you. I got your back. I'm here for you. If you need something, call me. I might be the only one that ever shows them that. So I got to take this very seriously. And so that's why mentoring is so important, is because without it, we don't have a path in life, because we don't got someone older who's already lived these experiences and gone through similar situations, telling us, hey, you know what, this is part of the journey. Let me help you get through it one step at a time.
That's so true. And there was a quote that said, if I've seen farther than others, it's by standing on the shoulder of giants. So I encourage, my young men to, hey, who are the giants in your life? Who are the mentors, the coaches that are doing what you see yourself doing when you're that age? And who are you surrounding yourself around? Because relationships, or I know we've been kind of talking about relationships, is so key. A relationship can either drown you, thinking about the analogy of water, or it can nourish you. So getting around those nourishing giants and really realizing, mentors, it kind of helps you kind of bypass some of that failure as well, wouldn't you say? Having mentors and being able to learn from them on what they did wrong, and you can kind of get off that exit a lot sooner and not have to go through some of those trials and tribulations. So yeah, that's gold right there, man. And obviously, I know there's someone here, you've been dropping jewels, gold. There's someone here that's taking a lot from you right now. And is there any other tips and techniques that's kind of coming to mind that you would love to just share?
For me, I would say, as you go through life, to be able to share the pain openly, you know what I mean? Because the moment you can name your pain, you can move forward. If you have this unspeakable pain and traumatic event that you can't talk about, you are prisoner to it for the rest of your life. And to break off them chains, you got to be bold enough to share it and to talk about it. And it may be awkward and uncomfortable, but there's nothing more freeing than talking about your wounds and how you healed from them and how you can still be going through that healing process. And that's what helped me to get where I'm at, is the transparency of sharing the worst day of my entire life with the entire world. And so once I'm able to share that, I feel like I can conquer anything.
Dude, another quote by Maya Angelou popped in my head when you said sharing that pain. She said, there is no greater agony, that word agony meaning mental suffering, than the bearing of an untold story inside of you. And that was so powerful to me, man. I had to embody that, meaning, yeah, there's sometimes, and for Chaz Jackson, I carried some untold stories, and it caused me to act out. It caused me to make bad decisions leading up to a car accident in 2012, where my life was transformed based off of that. And luckily no one was hurt, but it was a life-changing moment for me, and I wouldn't change that moment at all. But after that incident, I began to share stories more. It took a lot, but me getting around people like you was referring to in your youth advocate programs, really building those authentic relationships, becoming relatable, and just opening up and sharing your story, because your story can be an oxygen mask for a suffocating individual. I truly believe that. And you're breathing oxygen, Jesse Cruz, man. I'm so amped and so excited that you're in my presence right now. You're doing amazing things, and you have 2, 3, 4 more books left in you. I know a lot more programs, and there's so many other people that's going to be resonating with you and going to be coming in your path, because you are shining your light, man. You're glowing on this camera right now, and you're going to be doing amazing, amazing things. I can't wait to see what God does and uses you as a vehicle to inspire young people and adults, because I know you're hitting it in both areas. So I'm so blessed to be in your presence right now, man, and it's such an honor for sure. And I just want, again, I know there's someone that's looking at this right now. For me, if only one person out of this 7.5 billion people on this planet looks at this video and takes something from it, I know that is a success, and I know that it just happened. And I know, there's somebody that's took something and they want to know more information about you, man. Can you please share like some contact information? Somebody want to reach out to you, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, so the best way to contact me is on Facebook, Jesse Cruz, or my author page, Jesse A. Cruz. For people on Instagram, it's author Jesse Cruz. And for people who want to email, my email is authorjessecruz@gmail.com. So those are the best ways to stay in contact with me.
Nice. And my final question for you, building up to this point in your life on July the 15th, 2020, what is the greatest lesson that you feel like that you've learned at this point in your life? Last thing to share with the audience.
The greatest thing I've learned is that God is not circumstantial. Whether you had the worst day of your life or the greatest moment you've ever had, God is still God, no matter what happens, because God is bigger than any challenge, any setback, or any loss. His love does not change based on your circumstance.
His love never fails, I tell you, because Jesus, man, he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. I truly believe that. That's powerful. And brother, I'm going to go ahead and lead us out. Thank you so much for blessing me with your presence. And I look forward to building with you moving forward.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to go ahead and lead us out. Hey, I know you took something from that. Leave your comments. Let us know what you feel was the best saying or something resonated with you. Definitely let us know. If you look at the replay, let us know about that as well. If I can help you, assist you with anything, obviously you can hit me up here on Facebook. Check out my website, chazjacksonspeech.org. And I want to tell each and every one of you this, to stay up with GNG. I told you we was going to bring some heat. Again, rewind this back. If you didn't take notes, take some notes, because there was so much value given on this video. And I want each and every one of you to remember this one thing, embody this. And I say this with all of my might. We are God's echo, and keep those crowns on your hearts. I love each and every one of you. Peace.